we're back. Something motherfuckers. All right, let's get to it.
Yes. Cool.
So
yes.
Essentially what I was saying before, right? When you get into it, the reason why I keep reiterating on concepts versus reality. You know what I'm saying? Because the way you enslave someone is by how they think and their lifestyle. So if you can make a whole bunch of people think that world war is different and there's actually peace times, you can change their lifestyle to not adapt to everyday attacks. You know what I'm saying? You can also make them think that their own people wouldn't attack them when they would.
Yeah.
Well,
explain that though.
All right, so getting into it, do you know why Ukraine has an issue with Russia? Or why they are allied with Israel and Europe and America? What does Ukraine, Europe, Israel, and America have in common?
They're the West.
Technically.
Yeah, but yeah.
The same people are in each of those places. If you go in history, the reason Ukrainians don't like Iranians and why the Iranians are fighting them is because the Ukrainians used a process of white supremacy on them. They saw them as degenerates.
Iran.
Mm-hmm. Ukraine used a process of white supremacy against the Iranians. They saw them as their lessers.
Well, Ukraine also does have a history of being on the side of the Nazis in World War II.
You say Ukraine?
Yeah, I mean, they had the whole ordeal where they had some old veteran dude go to, I think it was Canadian Parliament, and they gave him like good, you're an old guy and you're in a war, woohoo. And then you look at his record and he fought alongside the Nazis in World War II. And it's like, so yeah, their government is built on, they're on a form of fascism. Okay. And that was to fight against the Soviets who were communist and collectivist. And I mean, no wonder they would do that, you know?
All of these groups break down from a bigger group, from a bigger issue. And the bigger issue, the reason why Ukraine and Iran are beefing, Iran is with Russia and China.
Yes.
And then Europe, Israel, and America and Ukraine are together.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Like think about the connection. The connection here is, so you ever heard of the story of Noah and the three sons and shit?
Mm-hmm.
The sons and Noah was not describing the races of man. That's not what that was. Because at that point in time, the races of man, virtually, you don't really get that story until the Hebrew iteration of it. You feel me? But the original Hebrews were part of the same people who would later on become Egyptians and shit. They were one big ass group of people at one point in time. So until the Hebrews went and became their own fully, because again, the people are there before the race is made. The woman is born first in every race. So in order to make a European or Caucasian, the woman would have to have been there first. That's why when you look at Greek statues and murals and paintings, the men would be yellow or dark or some kind of tawny, but the woman would be white. On the NLH or NHL, whatever website, it says the woman came before the men, at least 2,500 years before the man, the white woman. Mm-hmm. So this means in order to have a new race, one, the people there have to go through a process of purification in order to make a race. Two, the women have to be the first members of that race in order to purify it.
Okay.
Right. So when you take into that consideration, and you take into the consideration of the Ham, Shem, and Japhet, right? You say Jews in Ethiopia, Jews in Palestine, Jews in, what's the other place you said?
Sephardic is Persia, Iran.
Persia, Iran. So if you really want to break down to it, the Jews and the Hebrews and all this, they're one big ass group of people, which is basically damn near everybody on the fucking planet, almost. You see what I'm saying? When you
Well, they are everywhere. And one thing that's back on the woman thing, they're they aren't entirely matriarchal. Like there's conservative sects of them, but they, in order to determine that somebody is Jewish, it's from their mother's side. If your mother is Jewish and your dad is Irish, you are considered Jewish.
Yes, but even that goes back to what I'm saying. The real Hebrews and shit is really, if you take it at what it's saying it's everybody on the planet. Now, there's groups that use the name Hebrew. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How could the Egyptians enslave the Hebrews when they're a part of the children of Israel? They're Hebrews.
Which Egyptians?
The Egyptians. The ones who was supposed to have put the Hebrews through all the slaveries and shit.
I know, but they're separate from the ones that they enslaved.
How? When one boy was into slavery and his brothers came to see him, he said he looked just like the slaves. How far away must he have been for him to?
Well, I think that's because
like
Israeli those Hebrews came from Canaanites. Canaanites were a part of Egypt. I think that's probably it.
And where did the Canaanites come from? Where did the Egyptians come from?
Probably from Egypt or Africa.
On the words of damn, what's his name?
Oh no, Frank
Rudolf Steiner. On the words of Rudolf Steiner, he said, Rudolf Steiner and Aleister Crowley and a couple other people, they said that North Africa and certain parts of the world went underwater 4 times. 4 times. This means at certain points, the original Egyptians or whatever, and Hebrews and all that, either would have been in the mid to lower Africa or somewhere in the lower kind of watery realm in the outside world. The reason why Africa or America or Antarctica is so prevalent in this is because when shit wasn't physical, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had stations built there. So when it became physical, think of it like teleportation, like a telephone wire.
What's it called?
They just came through the teleportation portal. You do you get what I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about, the Stargate thing.
Yeah, they didn't go somewhere where the energy wasn't strong enough for them to then, you get what I'm saying? They had to go to the power points. That's why there's pyramids in Africa and America and multiple parts of Asia. Even in Antarctica, they got pyramids.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Sumerian text, you have what they say is the Annunaki mined gold on Earth for more than 100,000 years. This is paraphrasing from an article. They mined gold on Earth for more than 100,000 years until the rank and file Anunnaki, who were doing backbreaking work in the mines, mutinied about 300,000 years ago. On top of the unrelenting toil of the mining operations, climate change presented many difficulties for these extraterrestrial colonists. And Leal wondered if there was not another way to mine for gold. At this point, Enki suggested that a primitive worker called an Adam, could be created to take over the difficult mining work. I'm just speculating. Just about Adamu. Enki pointed out that a primitive humanoid hominin was prevalent in Abzu, Africa, where he maintained a laboratory. That's what they say on these texts. And they're from Nibiru as well. But and this is before the Great Flood. And these ancient astronauts established their initial base camp in Mesopotamia in the Fertile Crescent.
You know the name Nibiru and the name Hebrew have one and the same origin?
What's that same origin?
Nab-Haru.
Okay.
Heb-Haru. Geb-Haru. Jeb-Haru. That's when you start getting to etymology. You see what I'm saying? The
nomenclature.
But
the
on there, when you see it says primitive hominid is already in existence.
Yeah, they were in existence in Africa, but they mined for the gold in the Fertile Crescent. Mesopotamia.
Okay, so
that's what they're saying.
The
here.
ideas of this, right? So if they're in Mesopotamia here, they found them in Africa, and they mined for the golds in Mesopotamia. You know, on the old map, Arabia was called Northeast Africa.
Yeah. No. I'm saying yes, like I heard you, but yeah.
Yeah, like the whole Arabian Peninsula, Yemen, and all of that, Israel, Canania, that's where the Canaanites are from. That's the original name, Canania, or something like that. And then all those Mesopotamian, Sumerian, all that.
Yes.
Well, I won't say that necessarily. That was a little bit different. But the whole Arabian was Northeast Africa. Because if you look at it, it's connected. They're right next to people in, I think, Eritrea, Somalia, and Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. They could cross over that sea. Meaning the people there were the same people there. When you think about the Hyksos, the people who invaded Egypt, how were they foreigners and they sided with some of the Egyptian population under the guys in Nubian? Mm-hmm. How do you side with foreigners who are going against your own people unless y'all are the same people? Okay. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, wow, the reason I'm saying this is to say, right, the Anunnakis, about time they came to this shit, and again, the Anunnaki, if you want to get into the topic about aliens, we can really go deep about that shit because aliens don't exist. We are aliens.
Are you saying that we came from them and they are now a part of us? No,
I'm saying same thing I was telling you about the robot. The consciousness is consciousness. Your body, your vessel, doesn't matter. Your consciousness is what matters inside of your body. So the same niggas who are aliens are the same people who would be people who are the same people who would be robots. Like I said, if they wanted to survive a nuclear drone and they don't feel like the physical human body would make it, they would upload their consciousness onto the robot.
So you're saying they uploaded their consciousness in humans?
Is that not how they made the human?
Well, they breeded with them.
They breed. What do you do when you breed? You give someone your genetic structure, right? Yeah. Yeah. And it also says in the Bible that Enki gave them a finger drop of their blood into a certain group of Adamu, and they became Yesu. And then when they went out into the space and they got
which Bible?
I believe it is. It was in the canon or. Nah. I read it in Zachariah Sitchin's work, and he does a lot that has to do with the Hebrew Bible, I believe, and different types of. I forget exactly what it is.
What's the first name?
Zachariah.
Zachariah.
Yeah, like Zachariah. Not to get off topic. Let's focus.
What's his name?
Zach, nigga, give me the goddamn fuck.
All right, we must.
Nigga, what the fuck is?
Because I don't know. I heard some. It's hard to know.
Zachariah Sitchin. Yes. Sitchin.
Okay. Yes.
But essentially, what I'm saying is this.
I heard a Russo Ukrainian type of nomenclature there, so I kind of fucked it up.
Well, what I'm saying, I'm not saying any one group is more supreme than the other. I'm saying we cannot fear any of the shit because it's the same motherfuckers doing the same shit.
Yeah, we all come from each other, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think that gets diluted, and that has no legal historical reference to invade another country.
Let's not get it like fucked up. We have the same overall origin, but everybody has different origins. Not everybody is from the same materials. They're from they're from the same materials, but not everybody has the same materials.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is the Anunnakis, these aliens, whether you call them Anunnakians, Atlanteans, the Greys, reptilians, whatever you call it, sons of the serpent, Nephilim,
blue
fallen
avians,
angels. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Demons, devils, all this. They're talking about fucking humans. Yeah. They're not talking about other. Now, I'm not saying people couldn't have came down from the ship or rose up from the ground. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying the main thing that makes, let's get into creation. We're going to get into some fucking colors, right? How do you create something that you can't see? It's dark first. And then it's light. You bring light to it. So that means everyone who is created must have been dark first. I'm not talking about like skin pigment. I'm talking about energy wise.
Yeah.
Right? In order for them to either fuck with their genetic structure to make an advanced human out of them, they had to have some kind of similarity where they could do that. How can an alien come down and genetically splice one of us? You know, we could do that back to the alien. That means we have similar structure. They say the only difference between our blood and the alien blood is they have more strands open. We have two.
Yeah.
That means we have the same. Do you get what I'm saying? The matter. What does all matter come from? Dark matter.
Yeah.
We are all dark matter.
I think you a little more than me. I'm making a joke.
Well, yeah. You get, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like,
alien hoes, hit me up. I'm trying to hit those more than 2 DNA strands. I mean, you know, I'd prefer to, you know, have a nice Latina or European woman to breed with, but I'm open to alien, not illegal immigrants, but alien in terms of extraterrestrial.
But what if they are the illegal? Like,
well, I'm not getting on my stances on immigration.
If you're an alien, you're not picky about what body you're coming in. Like, what if the alien just like being a bad Latina bitch?
Oh, then it's over. That's my. We're breeding.
Nigga, be like, nigga, imagine you an alien, nigga, you been dead for 10 years, 10,000 years, some shit. You come back, you like, God damn, I'm sexy. You're an immigrant, huh?
Well, I mean, what the fuck? Well, people often go to, you know, they go to school to study hypnosis or what that can be. But, you know, if you're knee deep in a Latina girl and she starts speaking Spanish, that's hypnosis right there.
That's sexy. Right.
You know what I mean? That's over. Like if I'm told in Spanish while I'm fucking a Latina girl, I want a kid with you, it's over. I'm a father. I'm a father too in that moment because my father, you know what I'm saying? Like,
bitch gonna cut off some of them on titties. Oh shit.
It's over, yeah.
I never understand though, right? How the fuck is Mexico and America and South America all connected? And random motherfuckers came to America and said, no, you're not part of this land.
What do you mean?
How are they immigrants when their land is connected to ours?
Because we're a separate country.
How?
What are you talking about?
Before they came over, did the people on this bitch say, yeah, we're a separate country than them motherfuckers down there? No, they were different tribes.
Okay, so we're the United States of America. We conquered and bought this land. You can talk about the moral implications of that, but that's just completely irrelevant. That's just completely irrelevant at this point. We are an American country. But we democratically came into being. And if you're in my country, because I live here, I'm a citizen of here. If you're in my country illegally, and I don't care where you're from, you have to be here legally. You know, as a citizen.
That's reverse psychology.
What?
How are, like, that's like me coming to your house. You've been living at your house. I come to this bitch. Yo, I stay here now. I'm a citizen. I got this bitch wrapped up in the paper, my nigga. And since I'm a citizen and you don't got the paper that I have, you're a legal immigrant. Get the fuck out the house.
Okay, well, Spanish people came to America and invaded it and
did that same shit.
Well, you know, so nobody's right in this scenario. I mean, people,
but it's not about right.
There's the whole argument of like the Mexican American War, how that land was previously Mexico's. Well, Mexico got it because Spain brutally invaded and conquered the Aztecs, you know? So using the same tactics that the British and the French did. So nobody's really right in this scenario. And I think it's completely different from the conquering and colonialism that we see in the Israeli Palestine war, because that is right now, and the descendants of the Nakba are still alive, and right now we're funding that genocide and colonization and annexation, right? That's completely different because it's relevant. This is 300 years ago, and for the Spanish it's 500 years ago, so it's completely just irrelevant.
Time is irrelevance. That's why we're so fucked.
Well, if it's closer and we're paying for, we're donating money to a government that's committing a genocide, that's relevant, in my opinion.
Yes,
but I mean, I feel like historically, like the whole like no human is illegal in a stolen land is like all land is stolen land.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
No, there's no such thing as people being there. Yes, there's people that have been at a land before other people. And it's indigenous, but you know,
not even that. The concept or idea of owning land does not exist.
Well, for me, it does.
It was made up.
For me, if I buy a land, and if anybody comes to that land, I'm gonna shoot them in the fucking face.
Right, but hear me out. How can you steal land or own land that's gonna be there long after all your kids die and long before they lived? You can't. Because the land is still going to be there. Like, it's land. You just live on the land.
Well, there's are obviously organisms built out of a land, but land is not like a human organism. Like, it's just completely different. Okay, Mother Earth here.
What's AI? If AI starts to think, does it become a human organism?
Well, I'm a staunch believer in capitalism, so...
Can the AI robot perform
here's the
capitalism?
Thing. If somebody comes into my house uninvited on this land that is, you know, in my family, I'm going to kill them. And it's because it's mine. And that's correct and legal.
Right. So take that.
That should be the priority of a government, is to help people protect their property.
That's your mentality, right? Take that. Say you've been here. You're indigenous in this sense, right? That's your mentality. Some other people's come into your shit with that same mentality, but instead of you even knowing that they're going to take it, they're going to kill you first and still take it.
Okay, well then it's theirs now.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, even with putting money into firms and investing and all that, you realize if all the shit falls, they're just going to take the same shit and convert it to a new business.
Yeah. And
then those stocks not going to matter, but these new ones are.
But in the time you got them and the time they grow, it will matter. And that's in that moment, it's yours. How
irrelevant is time if we're paying for misery now because we paid for it in the past?
I don't know what you mean. Well, it gets very relevant. It's very relevant. Like, I mean, even if somebody invades another country and my government is helping the process of stealing land, I don't want any part of that.
But they did it before.
But that's not. But you know,
different parts of the world, over and over. So
if we're arming a country to defend itself, I'm okay with that. But not even there, because I just blatantly disagree with the concept of foreign aid in general.
Because
defending what's yours.
You think about defense, right? What if I slap you? I don't tell the person I slapped you. You come back at me. I'm like, yo, my nigga, they're fucking me up. I have the right to defend myself.
Well, Israel doesn't.
But you see, like, defense can be spin. I could do something to you first that antagonizes you. You punch me in my shit. I'm like, yo, I'm about to bomb these niggas now. And you bomb them.
Well, ideally, everybody talks it out. But if it doesn't come to that, it's go time in war. But, you know, and then again, Americans shouldn't want to fund that. They shouldn't want to be involved in the stealing of other people's lands.
But they're literally if you have a fucking mascot of people who stole people's lands, Americans will be.
Everybody did, though.
But
everybody did. Come on, everybody did.
Yes, but to a certain extent,
Mongolia stole more.
But who were the Mongolians a part of, though? They were part of the indigenous population that broke off and became their own thing and started coming back killing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
So
like
they
Rome.
stole land
Like,
that they're from.
well, I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, I know it's terrible, the colonization there, but everywhere that most countries that have been colonized aren't looking too good now. And it's not just because of the effects of colonization. It's just because of like certain cultures' inability to like preserve a country and control it. I'm just saying that I don't care that America colonized people and did all of that. I think it's terrible, but I just think it's completely irrelevant. Wait, what are we going to do? Give the land back to them? No.
Right.
And I even descend from Native Americans partially. So, and even as somebody who descends from them, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to give it back to them. Everybody, look at England, right? England was an island with nobody on it, right? Before, like thousands of years ago.
That's debatable.
England was a country with nobody on it thousands of years ago. Well, there was a land bridge between England and Europe, you know, but it became, it was originally an inhabited land. And then eventually what you had is like the Celts kind of migrating there, and then certain tribes come together. And then eventually 1500 years ago, you have, well, first you have the Romans that invaded. So you have that invasion, while brutal at first, led to improvements in infrastructure, plumbing. It was very beneficial for their culture, and London wouldn't exist without the Romans. And so you have that. Then eventually you have the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes that emigrated from Germania, that kind of region. They there's a debate, but they immigrated there. Some of them conquered, but some of them kind of, you know, assimilated into them. And then certain countries, I mean, you know, small kind of city states were forming. House of Wessex, Mercia, stuff like that. You have the Vikings. They go there. Some of that, you know, at various times, England was completely under Viking control at parts of it, right? And a lot of the words that come, you know, that are in the English language are like from Vikings, like mainly the violent.
You know, it's interesting.
Mainly the violent words. One more thing, we'll get there. And then you have, as we said earlier, William the Conqueror from France. And that's kind of where it stops. I mean, you can make the argument of their mass immigration right now that it's not stopping, and I think that they should have a harsher immigration policy, personally, in my opinion. But their culture has changed so much over time, but they and they still have this kind of national identity, but of England, of, you know, Anglo people, and they don't be like, oh, we should give it back to the first people. We should give it back to the Celts. We should all speak Celtic. You know, it's like, no, they're just fucking Britons, and they speak English. And English is a primarily Germanic language from the Anglo tribe. So it's completely irrelevant to them. So why must it be relevant to Americans? And, you know, I just think it's completely irrelevant, in my opinion.
Well, a part of that, it's not really a thing of giving it back. Again, giving something back is still a concept. How can you give me something that does not belong to me?
It's like reparations. I'm not going to get it. I don't want to get, like, I don't agree with reparations, you know?
You have reparations because people bought buildings and shit. Because people did labor, not because of the fucking land.
Yeah.
You have reparations because of the labor you did on the land that someone made you believe that they own. You can't give me back land that neither one of us own because you don't have that ability. You can write it down on paper and legislate it through all the companies, but in reality, concept versus reality.
Well, I think there's an argument for relevance that can apply to multiple things. Relevance in relation to time. For instance, right now, there's various different injustices going on in terms of human trafficking with the Epstein trials. Those victims should, a lot of them, you can't find them, but a lot of them should be given a lot of money, or they should be just be fucking chopping off heads. They should be getting rid of all the people in the government that went to Epstein Island and raped those kids. Whoa. Right? And that's relevance because that just happened, right? Mm-hmm. All right, but if we're talking about like massacres that have happened, like of Native Americans or other people, you know, hundreds of years ago, right? That's just completely irrelevant because like nobody can remember it. It's not relevant. None of the consequences of that really exist anymore. Because it's just like, I mean, you could argue the psychological generational trauma, you know, but overall, you know, I don't really buy that, you know, and also government spending leads to inflation in my, you know, opinion in terms of economics. So, I mean, especially with the reparations.
Say this, right? Because the thing is, I really like the thing of the concepts and reality, because a lot of the stuff is stuff that we think about, right? So we think it's massacres and shit. What if there was one big ass sex slave trade that went to another group of people, they massacred them, did sex slave trade, amalgamated this other people, did sex slave trade, all the way down to Jeffrey Epstein having his sex slave trade?
Well, I mean, there's various networks connected to Epstein.
So you saying since it's ancient and that happened then, that sex slave trade that made Jeffrey Epstein's basically their trade that made his trade possible is irrelevant just because it's older. But if their trade never happened, his trade wouldn't have.
All right. My thing is if the victims are still alive, it's relevant.
But I'm saying,
you know,
that's what I'm saying. We can't think of it on the individual where, okay, you're a Native American, I'm this, and that happened to you. So much time passed, I can't really do nothing about it. Just it's tough luck.
That's saying, my opinion.
Yes, I'm saying more so outside of that, not even putting yourself in the field of you're this and such and such. If you think about how sex slave trades work, they shut down publicly. They don't shut down privately. So the trade network, just like the dark market trade network, just like the money trade network, all of it is the same trade network. That's why they're able to do so much shit. Why you think porn has such a big sex trade network?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of human trafficking.
Who started porn? The people who was doing fucking orgies and shit. The ones who had harems.
The prostitutes, yeah. The brothels. All right. So my thing with that, right?
Oh, I was about to say something that blow your mind, nigga.
My thing with the Epstein network is if you just do the base minimum 15 minutes of research, you can find that people in that network are traced to various black operations, like, you know, in the CIA, of ties between intelligence and crime. You have people in the Epstein network that can be traced to the Franklin scandal and Craig Spence's network, and those people can be traced to various MK Ultra programs in the 60s that were using prostitutes to lure people in to experiment on drugs for certain people, right? So the government would hire prostitutes, lure people in, and they would force those people that they lured in to take drugs. So they could see how those drugs would use people, and they could see how they would control people. Reference Tom O'Neill's Chaos for this. Great book. That's right. So, and then even from there, the sort of founding of the OSS or CIA, whatever, has ties to, you know, the mob and Jewish gangsters too, Italian mob and Jewish mob. Meyer Lansky instrumental in smuggling guns to, you know, terrorist forces to found Israel, you know, other people too. So everything kind of goes back and it just keeps going back, but they come in phases, right? And they're in different industries, right? Diddy was just one industry. It was to control the narrative of hip hop. Epstein was mainly to control the narrative and policies of politicians, some of Hollywood, scientists. So they're all interconnected, but they are separate and in phases. So I guarantee you right now, there is an Epstein lurking. There's probably dozens of them lurking. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what island they're on. But they're lurking. They're recruiting. They're sacrificing. And they're getting dirt on the next wave of Gen Z or millennial politicians that are, coming up and rising in the ranks to get them to go with the narrative. I can tell you that right now.
I agree. I would say even when you look at the whole thing, as far as the different islands and how everything really strings together, if you think about it, and even in the present context, right? If there was a network before and someone does research about that network, they can then figure out how to create their own network. That's one thing that happens when you tell a story. You see what I'm saying? So as far as the Jeffrey Epstein, the biggest thing you learn in life is classificationism. And that's the practice of classifying things. Basically, that is how you get into all the different kind of ideas of this and that and reparations and this and that. But the thing with, say, music and entertainment, right? Why is music and entertainment two different categories when they're all entertainers? Why is movies a different category than someone who paints when they're all entertainers?
They're different like frequencies. And
why is a poet different from someone who makes a car when they're all entertainers?
Yeah.
When you think of everything in different shit, you can't see the overall, you only see the different shit that it is. So if I said the music industry, the movie industry, and the food industry was connected, you'll be like, how? I could say advertisement.
Yeah, they do use the same tools.
And I'm not here talking about food advertisement. I could say certain movies you watch make you hungry. Certain songs you listen to make you hungry.
Inglorious Bastards. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Certain colors you see make you hungry.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that they're all sort of connected, yeah.
So what I'm saying is when you say, either to use the example of Ukraine and like the sons of Noah and stuff, right? When you look at white, black, Asian, and whatever, you see what I'm saying? You can look at it as different things when you get into classifying it. But when you look at it from the sense that all of these people are more than less likely the same fucking people who just look different, you can then see why Ukraine is beefing with Iran. Same group
Russia,
of people.
even. Yeah.
Yeah, but Iran and Russia is together against Ukraine. I'm saying a lot of, if you go to the historical context, because if you just look right now, you can name present reasons why they're beefing, but it doesn't make sense. You have to look at the historical or historicity of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The parts of history that's true. It's true that the Ukrainians and Iranians had issues before in the past. Their issues now is that plus shit now. They still look at them as degenerates.
Yeah, well, I mean history is not, it's like Turkey and Greece. You have Troy and
about that. Oh my god.
Yeah,
bro. That's why I was saying, like, what exactly is Europe? Because Europe isn't a continent.
It's connected, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a full continent. If anything, it's still a part of Asia.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to make that argument about America. Like, people are like, obviously, yes, technically, the United States of America is a part of South America. But when you're in the USA,
it's also part of Mexico.
Well, that's Central America.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in America, you're not in Canada or Mexico. You're in fucking when you're in the USA, you're in fucking America.
Stop with this thing. They're saying don't reference the USA as just the word American. You have to say the US or the States. I'm not going to call that shit the States. Get the fuck out of here. We're fucking America. That's Brazil is Brazil. It's not fucking America.
It's South America, yes.
It's different. Technically, though.
Shit,
It's not.
If
But
anything,
shut
nigga,
the fuck up. You know?
nigga, fuck that. It's not America. It's
Talking
the
about
51 states. We are the 51.
We're 50.
At this point, we're the 50 states, nigga. Fuck Hawaii.
No, there's just 50. No, that was weird. I have a Mandela effect where it's like, is it 52? Is it 50? Or maybe I'm just fucking stupid.
Man, cause that's really what it be. Cause that's the same shit how like either the South Americans look at some people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in South America don't look at themselves the same way as they see the North Americans. They think they're America. You know what I'm saying? If anything, South Americans probably are like a fucking hybrid at this point.
They're like Latino. They see themselves. They see that like Latinos as themselves, but we're like kind of like we're Anglo, we're European. Not really, but yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, I mean, also the world does revolve around us.
Kinda, yeah.
Or not, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I will die before the world does not revolve around America.
Shit.
I could have banged hard, but I was.
You gonna die fast as shit.
All right.
Damn, smokes.
Shut up, your bricks propaganda. What is it? Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, Singaporean, whatever, nigga, propaganda.
If it's up to the 50 states, we gonna be at war with everybody, man.
All right, well, that's the thing. Let's dial this down. Bare bones, strip it down. Tender bones, rib shack. Good place.
Nigga, if you really want to chalk it up,
nobody could invade America and win.
If you really want to chalk it up,
give me your opinion on that. Because nobody,
I don't know.
Nobody could invade America and win.
If the civilians fight, then I agree.
The civilians would. No, they're all right. You go to Starbucks. Mm-hmm. You have a bisexual girl with blue hair make your coffee. That customer is going to be either some mullet, safe, sleazy ass fucking bitch who likes modern baseball and mom jeans. Mm-hmm. That's their band names, you know. And then there's Jimbo with a red flannel and a Let's Go Brandon stick or MAGA hat, right? They're still getting the same coffee. And if anybody is going to take away that coffee, both of those fucking assholes are gonna die. That try to take away that coffee from the safe, sleazy looking ass motherfucking emo concert going to ass motherfucker, and then the Leonard Skinner back to back Freebird playing motherfucker. If anybody takes away that Starbucks from those two people, they're gonna die.
This is the most fraction I've seen this.
If anybody takes away the fucking 9 Tray Bloods, I'm gonna say Crips, 9 Tray Bloods, their fucking pack that they're selling. If those 9 Tray Bloods cannot sell that heroin,
I'm about to break your whole shit up. Bro.
And those Crips, the Grape Street Crips, cannot sell their own pack of heroin or whatever. If anybody's gonna take away their business model, they don't give a fuck if they're from fucking Mexico, Taiwan, Israel, Russia, China. Anyway, it's going to take away their ability to sell heroin. Those two are going to team together and kill that motherfucker. Those motherfuckers who would invade this country. Red Dawn style.
Okay, say this. Okay. So if that's the case, what if I come in this bitch, give you a better deal, give him a shittier deal. Now he's killing you, you're killing him, and I moved in on your territory.
Well, that's the subversive warfare.
How you gonna kill me when you killing yourself, bitch?
That's one thing that they, the old colonist handbook, right?
No, I'm saying that's a new colonist handbook because it's still working.
No, I'm saying that it could apply to anything, but realistically, I don't think it would apply to America because we're just so united.
Nigga.
I don't know.
Texas and California will branch together and start clapping niggas if they could.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about civil war. I'm talking about if a foreign countries invaded the United States, it would be over for whoever invades them.
I don't know, bro.
If it's a civil war, that's a whole different argument.
If you say China, right? The first thing people not thinking about invasions, how many motherfucking civilians are Chinese? A lot of Chinese people are already Americans. People don't know this.
But Chinese people are Americans.
And I'm not just talking about the poor people. I'm talking about rich people that you don't see. A lot of the backings of like Steve Jobs are Chinese people.
That's where we go FDR and put them all in internment camps, right? Yeah. No, that's just your argument, you racist pig.
Yeah.
No.
You know what? You try to invade here, I'm gonna kill you and fuck up my own business.
No. All right. No. I'm saying that like if you speak to a true patriot, right? If you speak to a true patriot, you know, I go to a lot of social events for liberty-minded people. There's a lot of Chinese people that are very hardworking, Chinese Americans, that are patriotic and would die for this country, even though they've descended from, you know, you look at the Civil War, there was this lone case, one Chinese person on the Union side.
How do you know?
All right, we're not going there. It's historical evidence. There was one Chinese dude who fucking fought in the Civil War.
Though?
It's on record. There's pictures.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of shit is historical and then historicity.
Well, yeah, it's like, there's a lot of like Netflix shows that are like Cleopatra. Cleopatra wasn't white. It's like, no shit, she was white. Cleopatra was definitely, she was Middle Eastern, you know, but she was white. So we're not going there.
Say this right now. If I was in a room full of people, I said, yo, guys, I'm going to write on here that I slapped her with my dick. And y'all say, yeah, that's a good idea. We write that down. Historical evidence, because 200 years passed, they're going to think I actually slapped the bitch with my dick, and I did not.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm saying that's how it works, man. I'm just saying that's how history works, man. Shit.
And that's why World War II isn't what we think it was, but we'll go there when I have more tools in my toolbox to talk about.
If we talk about art, because if you think about it, art really is different nowadays. When's the last time you actually seen like art?
I watch movies all the time, so
okay. But I'm saying most of the art we see now is in the form of movies, music,
shit put together.
Or that's what I'm saying.
No, I agree. Like a lot of art is based on other stuff. I mean, I think of movies as the ultimate art form. That's just my opinion. But you know, I mean, that's why I like that Disney's going back to the 2D animation model, because I mean, you know, I know what you mean though, but you know, a lot of the art that I collect in my other setup in my room is from this dude named Grime Fiends, and he like hand draws a lot of his album covers, including one of mine, for some of my music, and that's really what I look for, is the authentic stuff that really comes from somebody. But I do think that you know, and I see this with a lot of music, especially like, and I still am friends with people in the sort of underground rap, funk scene, whatever you want to call it. A lot of their stuff is just too referential to be original and interesting, and sometimes it can be good. You know, you got really good albums like the, you know, fucking Chris Travis's albums or Space Ghost Perp albums, but you know, a lot of the times it's just some shit is too based on references that's just not good. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes and it's just like, you know, that it's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable business model. I mean, especially if you just get to the fucking like terms of like sampling and stuff like that, you know, but legally, but you know, artistically it's not sustainable. But you know, art has changed where everything is referential to another thing. I mean, it's like, you look right now, how am I going to advertise this podcast, right? I'm gonna make shorts. I'm gonna make fucking 20 shorts of this fucking show, and it's all going to like be like, hey, this is based on this larger fucking 2-hour podcast, so go watch the 2-hour podcast.
See, the worst thing be when niggas put out shorts and they don't put the link to the shit. That'd be the worst.
I will do that, you know.
That's the worst shit, because it's like, nigga, I look in the comments or look in the fucking bio, it's just linked to the link tree. Nigga, where's the shit at?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm like, you just drop game. Where's the actual shit at?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I see that with a lot of articles. Like they're like, hey, check out this article on this, film or event, and it's just like the link to their front page of the website. It's like, where do I find it, fucker? Like,
Yeah. Okay, but where though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that kind of concludes this episode. But we talked about a lot of interesting stuff. You're a musician. Where can people find you?
Nowhere right now. I'll find them.
Okay. But, we'll have his name. It's all caps, by the way, for anybody typing it up.
YVNG Spark.
Thank you. This is, give me a fucking hand.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Two of them, nigga. Two of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow with you. All right.
Yes.
Now that was good.
There's a lot of topics we did not touch on. To the next one, nigga.
We'll do another one. We'll do another to be continued. But
I didn't even tell him about the sons of Noah or the Sumerians.
we'll get there, and we'll prepare the documents.
I didn't tell him
I got a
how
fucking clipboard.
all the powerful people are one people, and the real powerful people are the people in the streets who are poor. I didn't tell him.
You Marxist
they're
game.
rolling
What
us
is going on
from
here?
the streets. The top has no power.
That's where I home from.
They're enslaving us from the streets. Cops don't rule nothing. We're enslaving ourselves.
Okay, that's a good argument. All right. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. Go fuck with him. Well, he'll find you.
Finger pop,
Right,
pussy
but
shot.
no, this is great.
Fact.
Peace out.